Alright guys, good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is December 4th, 2020. It is a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thanks again for stopping by to our morning note. We do this every day, or every business day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner is our little logo there. Click on that, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. We really do appreciate it as always. Remember, this channel is for you. We answer questions to start your day and go on from there. So let's go ahead and talk market, shall we? Dow futures up 110 currently at 30,000. NASDAQ up 16 points. S&P up about 10, 36.74. Russell 2000 index 1857, up about 0.5%. Bitcoin futures are down 2.27% at 19,120. Crude oil futures 46.07 a barrel, 9.94 to the upside. Gold pretty much flat, 1842. Silver same, 24.17 per ounce on the future side on silver. Euro dollar 121.49, basically flat, and dollar yen up about 19 pips at 104.02. As the dollar is still weakening, guys, still to the downside, 90.65. If it is testing the 89 handle, can't believe that, below 90. Wow, almost there, anyways. And the VIX is at 2101 at 1.27% currently to the downside. Big news today was non-farm payroll report. Pretty weird here. Okay, so non-farm payroll report. Let me get the totals here. The new number for jobs added was 245,000. The estimate was 469,000, and the previous job number was 610,000. So unemployment rate is now at 6.7%. The estimate was 6.8%. Average earnings, wages was up year over year 4.4%. The estimate was 4.3%. So pretty strange to think that even with a jobs number that was less than expected, the markets are actually green. So what does that tell you? That pretty much tells me that I think traders and investors are kind of happy that with a weaker jobs number, stimulus is probably going to get done. I think it's the same song and same dance, still stimulus. The problem is that I still have SPY and QQ calls as signals, and this price action, you could see, we had a breakout here, what we tried to play, and then it just kind of just sideways action, not much going on. So unfortunately, we just ran out of time. I just got to see how we do at the open and move from there. But we were thinking that we can get a little pop on non-farm payroll report. Again, nothing has really been affected yet. It's only 9 o'clock. At 9:30 we open. For all we know, we can get a pop first thing in the morning at the open. Again, I'd have to see first 30 minutes, first hour, and see how we go. But pretty much sideways, which is really annoying when you don't get much movement to the upside on your calls or any movement period. But the VIX is going down. You see 6% down, now below 20. So it could be the fear gauge is going down. Maybe we get a pop in equity futures. Maybe we get a pop in the S&P and Dow to the upside. Maybe we could test that 36.82 high on mini futures. Again, it's really just a wait and see approach now, moving forward. Good morning, good morning. GLD, let's take a look here. Let me open up my stuff here. GLD. GLD is at 172.62. I would say really wait for this little break here of around 175.35 before I do anything. And I definitely wouldn't short here. AAL calls. Yeah, AAL had some news that came out about their cash burn. They have been absolutely on fire, but they're pulling back a little bit from the highs. I would say wait for the retest of those highs of 69.9. See if you can get a break out of that. Still have gas on BA. What level does Square have to break for a run? Yeah, BA was absolutely on fire. I mean, we played that, and it did. I mean, BA has been an absolute amazing stock for us. I mean, the last time we played it, the first time we played it was with the freebie, and we had this little consolidation and break to the upside, and went from 180 to 237. So pretty good stuff. Boeing still has some room to run. Obviously, if you look at the daily, there is a gap to fill right around 253, 250. I think that we do fill that. So if you want to take a look for next week, take a look at some Boeing. But again, see if you get a break of that 240 level first before you do anything. Do you enter them when the market opens if levels are broken through per market? No, I always wait for the market to open. You have to at the end of the day. And again, it's all about the volume too. What's the best way to unload the 300 calls or let it expire? You could just let it expire. I mean, those BABA calls didn't work out. Stupid legislation on on China is not what we could do. I mean, we literally were about to break out 283.56 and we just fell all the way down to around 260 and then we recovered to 270. It's actually bullish now, which is really annoying because now it's above the 100, the 200, and the 50, which again, you just run out of time sometimes in futures, which really sucks. Just the name of the game sometimes. Do you think Palantir today hit like you said? Yeah, the Palantir that I was looking at. I mean, geez, that Morgan Stanley, the Morgan Stanley downgrade just absolutely crushed it because we were literally right here on the Palantir call above the 50. And it kind of reminded me of how Square was going. And then all this here was all Morgan Stanley, unfortunately. We did recover, and I actually bought some shares too on Thursday. I think it was Wednesday I bought it, or Thursday. And I'm glad Wednesday I bought it. And I'm glad I did because it's obviously going up. Just ran out of time. Again, one downgrade, and it kind of hurt us. So Palantir, what can you do? But no, those are probably dead. So more than likely Palantir, well, highly likely Palantir and BABA basically dead. Stupid headlines. What can you do? That's the name of the game. Sometimes take hits, sometimes. Well, Tesla pulled back soon. Tesla will pull back, of course. You always do. Tesla will not go straight up in one green candle. You'll get a pullback somewhere, some way. So 558 should be coming, obviously. 600 seems to be that really tough nut to crack on Tesla. We should break it soon, a couple of weeks. Again, I saw on Twitter 200. I put it on Twitter. December 18 has a lot of bullish calls. A lot of people are very bullish. So I'm interested in to see why are people bullish. I want to see that price action the next 2 weeks. After December 18th, guys, you should pull back from any of your trades because it's going to get very slow. So you have until now to December 18th to do anything, in my opinion. Apple 125 call next week is 130K. Yep. I also have SPY calls to cash out in the morning. Yeah, we want to see how SPY and Q act in the morning. And let's see if we get a little bit of a bump. Let's wait till 10 a.m. and then we reassess there. Love Ulta long term. Love it. I think someone had a question on Square. Yeah, Square I like, obviously. I own the stock long term. But in order to do anything, you need to break 215, which is the recent high. So you need about $10 move. BABA, this 280 calls December 18th. BABA, again, 280 calls. I see what you're seeing here. I probably wouldn't jump on that. I mean, you could get a little bit of a bump, and there probably is a lot of volume. If there's a lot of volume, then maybe. After hours reaction from Marvell. I think Marvell is a great company. Again, semiconductors. If there was an opportunity to buy the stock, it's probably here on Marvell. So not a bad stock to own personally. I don't own it. When should I sell banks since Biden won the presidency? Why would you sell banks because Biden won? That doesn't make any sense. Depending on who your president is, isn't really a good reason to sell anything. That's actually really dumb to do. I really wouldn't do that. I don't care who is president. The stock market really doesn't care who the president is. I explained that on the podcast. It's really important that you understand that because you're going to lose a lot of money on the table if you do. PFE, which is Pfizer. Pfizer, again, they said that they couldn't deliver a certain amount of doses. So again, they fell back a little bit. I still own the stock long term anyways, and I'm up on it. So you could see $40.03. They should break to 41.50 in a couple of weeks. Again, let's see what Pfizer says in regards to maybe boosting their dosage for the vaccine. Hey bro, how do you determine at what price you should buy the stock if something is overvalued? Well, you always have to go by the charts. I go with a daily chart, and I obviously have to do my research in regards to the financials, which is price to earnings ratio, price to book ratio, depending on the bank, or if it's a bank, you have price to sales. It's a longer process to do that, but charts are a great way to get started. The CCL, which is it? 12-11 calls for next week, the 25s. If you get a continuation up, break 23.85, then yeah, that's a pretty good call. It's not actually bad. CNK back for the day. CNK Cinemark. I say what take away. Yeah, now that Warner Brothers, which is owned by AT&T, is going to send out the new movies on HBO Max at the same time it sends to the theater, there's no point of having a theater. I don't know who's going to go to the theater now that you can get a stream to your home. So I'm actually pretty bearish on CNK, and I think it continues down to at least 12. CRM. Love CRM long term, obviously, but it hasn't gotten out of its own way. Again, if you have a long-term approach on CRM, definitely buy the stock. It's a great company. Thoughts on Diz? Love Disney long term. Obviously, they're laying off a lot of people. 153.74, still above the last Fibonacci level of an all-time high. So again, I do think we get a continuation to the upside. I'm still bullish in this market, obviously. You just have to wait for some volume to push. If you don't get volume, then it's not really worth it. Amazon has just not been doing much. Amazon has basically been treading water. Definitely been treading water for the past probably 19 days, 18 days. You could see from around 32.13 to around 3100. That's all it's been doing. Space, love Space long term. Obviously, 28.10 currently. Should get a continuation, of course, bounce off that 50 and get to 30. We'll take a look at calls, maybe the 29s, if there's any volume out there. Do you like NIO long term? I do. I do love NIO long term. I own it. Looking at T, I think T is great. Again, it's all for the yield. You're not gonna get a lot of growth, but it's all about the yield. So take a look at that. What's your thoughts in regards to Snap, in regards to the calls next week? In regards to Snap, the 49.50s, wait for volume. If volume builds in, again, you start seeing some really good amount of volume. Anything above 1,000 is good, but anything above 10,000 on a name like this, that's where you have to start paying attention. Around 48.60 is the high. If it breaks that, then yes. But again, the last thing I want you to do is to get in these calls and then retraces back to the 50. So that's what I don't want. Looking at AMD as well. AMD had a breakout. I'm in calls and then trying to pull back. There's some unusual options activity there. I think AMD bounces back anyways. It's a bull flag, so we'll get there. Thoughts on SVE or Baby V? I don't know what Baby V is. SVE, I don't know what SVE is, but looking at here, still below the 100. The blue line is the 100-day moving average. It's not been really here to play. Thoughts on QS? QS is an IPO recently on IFM buyers. Yeah, anything EV is going to start moving, obviously. But I don't know much about them. And you could see all you have is the 50-day moving average on there. So you could see 42. I mean, if you're interested in that arena, which is the EV, and you're going to look at the batteries and there's a plug power and all that stuff, yeah, go for it if that's what you want to invest in. But I don't know much about them. Yeah, we talk about this Qs and the SPY. Again, we have to wait till we open in the market and see what we get. Qs is literally above the 50, 304.45. For all we know, we can get a bump, but we just have to wait. We have to wait until the market opens and see what happens there. So let's see what we get. Docu, they reported, and they actually had a great report, 244.51. Looking at it here, you're near a breakout, which is really interesting. So 250s, keep it on the 250s. Maybe there's something there. See, we'll take a look at the volume for today, maybe for next week. Tesla, I love long term. Again, I love the stock, and I don't see any reason to sell it. NNDM, never heard of this name. NNDM, I don't know what this is. So again, looking at the chart, that's all I'm going to look at. I don't know nothing about this company. 756 currently, 793 for a break of the high. For this kind of number, I'm not really knowing exactly what to expect. Maybe there's a catalyst coming, but earnings did happen, and after earnings, it did soar. So who knows? When it comes to the question Dylan's asking about Airbnb and DoorDash, the main thing when it comes to IPOs, guys, is wait for that first report. That's the key. Snowflake just had their first report. I haven't deep dive in their earnings yet, but again, you could see after their earnings, they did boost up. So maybe Snowflake could be a play for you if you're looking for some cloud. So we'll do one more. Are you looking at volume for specific calls or identifying targets overall volume? Well, definitely specific options. You start seeing some really big boosts in options volume. Usually that's a case of follow the money. Again, you go by options volume, you go by your chart, and then you see if there's an execution to play. That's how you should really do it. Volume, again, at the end of the day, all we're doing is really following the money and following the volume. We're riding the wave. Again, you can't really predict anything in this market. You don't know what's going to happen. So again, with great volume, great charts, then you go from there. So we'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Just an FYI, Monday I cannot do the morning note. I have an errand to run first thing in the morning. I have to go to the courts and sign the marriage license with my fiance since I'm getting married soon. So Monday I will be out, but Tuesday I'll be back. But Monday I'll be out. I have to go to the county clerk's office to sign the marriage license with my future wife. So thank you so much. I will catch you guys Tuesday. Monday I can't, but Tuesday I will be back, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you guys soon.